Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be talking something that I've been kind of rambling on about for a while these past few weeks. Today we're going to be talking about the best and simultaneously also the worst part of League of Legends. So as you guys know, I've been playing a lot of other games recently. I've been trying to play some other games because there have been certain areas of League where it's just felt like it's kind of lacking for me, and I want to make sure I don't get burnt out on the game, so I've been trying to get other games into my daily routine so I don't quit League or anything. As I've been playing other games, I think I've kind of found out what's been bothering me about League, but funny enough, it's actually something that makes League a really cool game at the same time. I think the best and also... Oh, goddammit. Did you really get executed, Yi? I think the best and worst part of League of Legends is the fact that you only have 4 abilities. It's something that can make the game really cool at times, but it's also where I think a lot of the frustration in playing the game can be derived from. The simplistic combat in League and the fact that you only have 4 abilities compared to a lot of other games where you might have more is a really cool thing in certain areas. It brings a lot of people into the game, but 4 abilities is still enough to a point where you can generally tell if a player is playing well or poorly if you know the champion. You can tell how skilled a player is based on how well or poorly they're playing that champion. For instance, if you're playing Aurelia, her abilities go in depth enough to a point where you can really tell if a player is good or bad, and you can do a few cool things with them, like her ultimate is something that you can use on minions to get them to low health, so you can jump to an opponent with your Q, or like jump next to an opponent with your Q to a minion, so you can stun them with your E, and then maybe your opponent has a skill shot that he throws out at you to try and stun you, but then you jump away to another minion with your Q, and then you jump back to him and keep dealing damage. Like, that's a really cool thing that allows a lot of room for error if you're not that good, if you aren't as good at Aurelia, and you maybe miss a Q on a minion where it doesn't get the reset, or maybe you mess up your stun and only get a slow, which is a lot worse. Like, it depends on the champion, but for a lot of champions out there, there's a lot of really cool things you can do and a lot of kind of bad things you can do depending on how skilled you are, and it's all pretty simplistic in only having 4 abilities. But the frustrating part about it all is because you only have 4 abilities, there's only so much that you can really do. So for instance, when you're TP ganking, the act of TP ganking is more important than the actual skillfulness you use your abilities on the TP gank. The combat can be so simplistic at times, at least with your abilities, to a point where it feels like the skillfulness of you using your abilities in team fights is negligible, at least compared to the more boring stuff like showing up to a team fight, you know, positioning or TP ganking or laning correctly and not dying to jungle ganks in laning phase and warding. Like right here, the fact that I'm TP ganking is the big thing that's going on right here. It's not the fact that I'm using my abilities properly in that team fight, or maybe not so properly. It doesn't really matter as much right there. It's the fact that I chose to TP gank, the fact that I was paying attention to my minimap, I saw we could get an easy kill on the enemy AD carry, and then probably snowball, take bottom tower, and or dragon. In League of Legends, there's certain elements like that, right? There are TP ganks, there's warding, there's positioning yourself in the mid and late game, taking objectives. There's a bunch of things that aren't relevant to the combat, that the combat feels kind of negligible compared to it all. When you have razor-thin margins sort of determining who's good and bad in terms of how they use their abilities and all that kind of stuff, it can be very frustrating when you realize that, okay, maybe it actually doesn't even matter all that much. The stuff like positioning matters way more than the fact that you're using your abilities as quickly as possible or in the most efficient way possible. The fact that the boring parts of the game might be more important than the combat can be frustrating, and it's one of the things I think that I've been a little bit frustrated with League of Legends. The combat always feels super fun, but the actual combat in MOBAs is kind of not as important as a lot of the other things that go on. Honestly, the fact that the knowledge elements of League of Legends are more important than stuff like actions per minute is probably one of the reasons why back in the day the StarCraft community looked down on League for being such a casual game, because it wasn't as mechanically intensive as StarCraft, even if it is a pretty difficult game to go pro in, just as difficult as any other out there. I think increasing the amount of games I play really has helped me appreciate League of Legends more, and hopefully help me deal with some of my frustrations with the game. Anyway though, of course, these are all just my opinions. You guys can feel free to leave your own opinions on all this in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys, as always. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I will, of course, see you all tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.